decided to show y'all how I paint. It's behind me, how I paint flowers, because I've been getting tons of questions, and especially from my aunt, but about how to draw, or not how to draw, but how to paint like leaves and things. So I figured I would do a little demonstration. So this is my palette. I just want to show y'all the colors that I've used. So I'm using, it's called Artisan, and it's water mixable oil paint, because I've realized that just regular oil paint, the turpentine that I use with it has been making me have a headache, and we don't need that. So anyways, I switched Artisan for right now, and I might switch back to regular oils if it happens, like if I get a well ventilated. These are the colors that I recommend, as long as you have a warmer color and a cooler color of each color, you'll be able to mix the correct colors. And instead of black, I like to use burnt umber to mix my darker colors. Alright y'all, let's get started. So right now I'm just talking about the size of my brush, and I'm just changing it to a smaller size because I enjoy getting all those colors in there. So right now we're going to start with our darkest pink to put in the shadows, because I like starting from the darkest up to the lightest, because it helps with, just blending those colors. And I'll be using the oil colors, and with these oil colors, they actually take longer to dry, so you can blend them together, but you also have to let stuff dry before you want to go back on top of everything. So now we're just going to start with the next color, the next lightest color from the darkest. And I'm just going to put those colors in the areas I see fit. So that is probably the colors around the darkest colors. So now that I put in those mid-tones, I'm gonna go back through and put in the lightest, or the second lightest. I have a light, and then I have another light, and then I have a medium peachy tone. Alright y'all, I just want to point out, ignore my mosquito bites. Those are awful. I didn't realize they were there. And of course, I live in Texas, so it's really hot, even in September. So I recently had a sweater on, but I had to take it off and put on a shirt because it was super hot. But anyways, those are what those bumps are. I'm sorry, y'all. It's life. So now that I did the lights, I'm also going to go back and sharpen up the darks with my darkest pink so that the values can show themselves correctly. So I just want to quickly mention that the reference that is on the screen is actually lighter than the one I'm using, because I think I must have printed it off darker than anticipated. But anyways, that's if you're just wondering. And you can totally change your own photo as well, if you want it lighter or darker. Now I'm also going to go through with the lights and really fix some of those really bright whites. Alright, let's get started on these leaves. Now I'm starting with the darkest to the lightest again, and I'm actually going to mix my my darkest green with burnt umber. And I actually like mixing just a good cadmium yellow with an ultramarine blue, because I don't know, I like mixing my stuff and trying to find the most accurate color. And that's one of the most important things about trying to recreate a painting to make it look realistic, is making sure you mix the right colors. And that's also why I recommend having your warmer and cooler colors, because if you need to dull down a color, you use the cooler color, and if you need to brighten up a color, you need to use the lightest color, or in our case, the warmer color. But anyways, yeah, so I'm doing the darks first, and I also recommend doing a second layer after this first layer that you're putting on dries, because I couldn't go back into it until a couple days later. So while putting in your darkest colors, I also recommend putting in some shadows, the ones that you can see first off. And so that's what I'm doing here, because it really helps when you're starting to put more color on top of it. So you can really mix those colors together and make a beautiful gradient. Alright, y'all, let's start on our next color, and it will be the second to darkest color. And you just put this where you see fit. It's kind of like a guessing game, but you use your reference religiously to really help get those colors in. And mixing the colors is very important too. I'll probably do another video sometime soon about how to mix the right colors for paintings for like watercolor or acrylic, or in this case oil, because I do feel like that is very important when trying to recreate a painting or a photo. So it looks like I'm about to put in some more color. So it's basically just the same. We work from the bottom up. So I'm putting in the next lightest color or darkest color as I see fit. Alright, so now I'm going to start on the vase of the flower pot, or not the flower pot, but the vase of the flowers. I'm just doing the same thing. I'm doing the darkest darks and then the lightest lights, and I'm also just adding some texture in here to show the stems. And then I'm also working on the background a bit to get some of the burnt sienna of my underpainting away so that you just see the painting. Now it's a couple days later, and I'm going to be working on the leaves again. And these are the colors that I'm using. As you can see on the right, we got titanium white, yellow ochre, cadmium yellow pale, and then ultramarine, Phthalo Blue, and then burnt umber. And you can kind of see, I should have filmed it better, but you can kind of see how I'm mixing the colors. And one of the important things is to just grab a little bit from each and make your way up. So that if you want more of a darker shade of green, just do more blue. And also add some white in to get those really bright greens for some of the highlights. So now I'm just redefining some of those lines and putting in more color. And this is also fun because you can start creating the veins in the leaves, and also start putting in some lighter values too and make it look realistic, as I'm doing on this leaf right here, is that I'm making sure that you can see the dent of the fold and the way that the light shines on it. I also want to mention that you don't have to do exactly like the photo. You can also create some more leaves on there that you don't see particularly. But also, I am holding my phone as a camera, so it might be a little shaky in some areas. I'm trying a new setup because it's kind of hard from just far away and want to do some close-ups. But to show you in real time of what I'm doing on creating these leaves. So this is where I'm fixing a leaf. Oh, I must have did that off camera. But I fixed that leaf right there because I realized that it was different from what I thought. And now right here, I'm doing a leaf that is kind of twisted. And to do that, you want to make sure that the lower half of the leaf is darker than the top half. And that really helps with showing dimension. Also with adding just a tiny bit of darkness in the top leaf to show the dimension of it. So another way to create the leaves is to do the veins. Wow, that was very Texan. Do the veins in a lighter color and then go on top of it with the darker color. And really put in those shadows like I did as well. And even in the little crevices of the veins is a good idea to put your darks to kind of show like the dimension of the leaf as well. Whoops, I almost forgot this leaf. So now I'm just adding more color and, oops, I just put in a shadow there to really You just want to fix up some of those shadows and make sure everything is perfect and with your values. Just making sure that you know where your darkest darks are and your lightest lights are is very important in creating a painting. So anyways, y'all, thank you for watching. And if you have any questions, just let me know. And I'll see y'all later. Bye. Thank you.